Good morning. Hi, this is Phil McPhail with United Country Lifestyle Products of Maine. And folks, if you're looking for a piece of real estate that's off-grid, high and dry, I've got a nearly perfectly square 100 acres of land for sale. Stick around. I'm going to show you the terrain. I'm going to show you a little bit about the property, the access to it, and tell you about the region surrounding Williamsburg Township. To get to the property in Williamsburg, if you're coming from the south, you're going to be driving north on Route 11. This is the village of Brownville. And right up here at this intersection, when you have Church Street on your right, and left is the road to Williamsburg, we're going to take a left right here after the A.E. Robinson Irving Station. Okay, we've turned left onto High Street from Route 11 in Brownville. And we're going to go up here just a little ways, and we're going to turn onto what will become Rips Road, which is our access to the property in Williamsburg. So less than a quarter mile up High Street, we're going to turn onto Rips Road. And this is a town road at this section, and we're heading kind of southerly now. And this road is dirt. It is plowed all winter, and we'll show you where the town stops plowing and it becomes a discontinued town road. For those who have ever seen this online, this is the Brownville food pantry for deer right here. I don't see any deer out there right now, but you can go online and you can see that. If you get a chance, you might want to check that out. Okay, so we're on Rips Road. We're just about a mile in here, and this is the last home that's plowed out in the wintertime. From here on out, we've got seasonal cottages, large tracts of land. The Penobscot Indian Nation does have a lot of land in this area. And this also becomes a trail system. This is a snowmobile trail on this part of the road. A little more than half a mile from the end of where the town plowed Rips Road, we're going to come to the intersection of Rips Road with the old Brownville-Sebec Road. And from here, our property is 1.4 miles to the turn where the private road leads to the 100-acre lot. Okay, we're in here about 1.4 miles, and we're going to turn right onto the access road. The property is going to be about 6/10 of a mile from this old discontinued town road on this private road up to the lot. Okay, we're almost to the property, and you can see it off in the distance, that hillside with a big pine up there. That's the land. We're at the very end of the right-of-way coming into it, and the property line is marked right here. Oh, sorry, broke through that mud puddle, and we got a painted line right here at the beginning of the land. All right, so let's go take a look at the land now that we're here. All right, we're just getting started on the property again, and this land has about 4,000 feet of interior road. These are logging trails. They're of varying degrees of condition. They're a little rough. You wouldn't want to come in here with a low-riding car, but they are ditched. The property here in Williamsburg has about 4,000 feet of interior road system. This is not a quality road that you're going to drive cars in on, but you're going to certainly be able to drive SUVs or pickups like mine. The road's ditched in most places. It's in pretty good condition. It's December the 14th today, and we've been lucky not to have too much snow. We had rain, so it's pretty well melted all the snow we did have. This is one of the access roads that runs over towards the eastern side of the lot. Folks, one of the things about this area here in Williamsburg, and we're on the property now, is historically this was a great place to find slate, and it was mined here back in the 1800s and still is in this area today in certain parts of Piscataquis County. Behind me is a quarry pond. Now, there's ice over this, and I'm not going to get too close to it because I don't personally want to fall in there, but I sold one of these properties like this in Brownville, and this quarry pond was actually 140 feet deep. I have no idea how deep this one is, but you know, if you're here, check it out. And this is some of the quality of the slate that's found here on site. You can use it for building yourself some rock walls, some decorative stuff, maybe do arts and crafts on it, sell it to your friends wherever they're at. Folks, I just want to take a second and remind you to like and subscribe to our channel. And if you're really seriously looking for real estate, make sure you turn on that notification bell. I get a lot of calls from people that see our videos 2 weeks, a month sometimes after the property actually got posted. And if you're really seriously looking, sometimes it takes us a while to get the editing done on these videos, get out and film them, you know, weather-related issues and whatnot. So if you're really interested in looking and you want to be notified as soon as something comes on the market, call us, email us, and we'll set up an auto notification for any new listings that match your criteria when they come available. Folks, let's talk about the soils on this property. The majority of this site, according to the NRCS map, are a couple of loamy, stony loams. There's Berkshire Lyman Association and Placed Panquist Howland Association. And these are deep to moderately deep soils that are well drained. They're actually good farm soils when they don't have as many rocks. And as you can see here, we got a little cut in the bank. We've got a lot of stones of, you know, softball size watermelons. But the soil itself is a nice a loamy, sandy loamy material. So if you did want to do a little bit of farming and you had the equipment, you could pull the rocks out of this, it would be good for grazing land for sure, probably without too much work. It's going to grow trees, and right now it's growing a lot of hardwood. We do have some pine on this site as well. We're now approaching the northern boundary of the property, and we're still on the interior road system. This is the southeast side of Perham Hill. Perham Hill, the property where it sits on Perham Hill, the elevations here are between 480 and 660 feet above sea level. This is nice high ground. You got some nice hardwood ridge coming up to the left. Our neighbors to the north is the Penobscot Indian Nation. They do own a fairly large tract here in Williamsburg. And a lot of this town is held in either their ownership or in conservation easement. We're going to get out and take a look at the boundary line evidence here, which is very well done. One of the nice features of this property is it's pretty well marked out. We're on the northern boundary here with the Penobscot Indian Nation, and this is all blue paint, and you can see looking down through here that the land has been very well marked on this northern boundary. One of the nice features of this property is this terrain where it does slope to the south and southeast. There's a lot of places on here that you could build a cabin or an off-grid home that would be south to southeast to southwest facing, depending on where you pick for a site. Excellent spot to do a solar project. You know, if you're looking for that off-grid situation for your recreation, your cabin, or maybe even a homestead back here, if you think you can make it through a Maine winter this far back in the woods, this would be a great lot for that use. We're here near the center of the land, and one of the nice things about this property is it does slope both north and south, mostly south, but behind me you can see mountain ranges that are up in the Katahdin Ironworks area. Saddleback Mountains back there, and Big and Little Spruce Mountain, I believe you can see off to this side of those. Very scenic area, a little bit of tree clearing down here on the ground. You could open up on the side of the hill and get a great view of these mountains to the north if you chose. Or you could look south to the hills and the valleys around the Sebec River region. We're over here on the road where the eastern boundary meets and the road meet. Great time to talk about recreation. We're over here out of the wind on the leeward side of this hill. It's kind of nice. If you're a sporting person and you really like the outdoors, this is a great region. This property is known for great upland bird hunting. This is a lot of early successional hardwood forest, and the rough grouse do extremely well here. Big white-tailed deer in this area. I've got friends that hunt over here. Some odd deer that we've seen are some albino deer. We actually occasionally see doe deer that have antlers, and antlered doe deer, which is probably some genetic defect, but it's kind of interesting. Our proximity to both the Katahdin Ironworks gates and the Joe Mary gates in the North Maine woods, I think they're 17 and 23 miles. I'll look that up and tell you here shortly. We've also got Schoodic Lake and Sebec Lake, just a couple miles in each direction, a few miles in one direction and 8 or 10 in the other. Another great recreational feature of this land out here in Williamsburg is we have direct access to an ITS snowmobile trail right from the property, as well as groomed and maintained ATV trail access. So for those of you who like to ride, you've got the perfect property here in Williamsburg. This lot has been harvested within the last 15 years, and it's got a lot of young growth coming now. There are still some mature maples and pine here and there on the land, but a lot of this is the early successional hardwoods. We've got beeches and birches and maples in here, along with the spruce, fir, and pine. We'll tell you a little bit about the town of Williamsburg Township. We're located in eastern Piscataquis County. Williamsburg is surrounded to the south by Sebec, the east by Brownville, the west by Barnard Township, and to the north by Katahdin Ironworks Township. Williamsburg was formerly known as Township 6 Range 8 NWP. And in 1834, that township was divided between then Barnard and Williamsburg when they became incorporated towns. About 1939, the town of Williamsburg decided to go unincorporated, and that was during the Great Depression. And it's now, and it still is, an unorganized territory here in Maine. And that is a good thing for a couple of reasons. If you're looking for a property just to get away to, you don't want to pay a lot in property taxes. Taxes on this are about $150 a year. The tax rate is just over $6 per thousand, which is one of the lowest here in the state of Maine. The property here in Williamsburg is pretty conveniently located. Even though we're out here in the middle of the woods, folks, we're just 9 miles from the service town of Milo. Milo's a nice little town. It's got a restaurant or two, gas stations, hardware stores, a pretty good sized grocery store. We're 15 miles from the county seat of Dover-Foxcroft, and there we have all those things, plus Mayo Northern Lights Hospital. They take good care of you out here and you break a bone. Also nearby, we're 3.5 miles from a boat landing on Sebec Lake. We're about 10 miles from the boat landing on Piscataquis Lake. We're 17 miles, as I said earlier, from the Katahdin Ironworks Northwood Main Gate, and we're 21 miles to the Joe Mary Gate. So no matter what you're looking to do, it's easy to get to. We're 49 miles from the Bangor International Airport. You can be here in just over an hour. Very, very, very conveniently located. And but at the same time, extremely remote and quiet and private. Well, let's kind of wrap this up for you guys. I appreciate you taking the tour with me. The price on this property is $124,900. The taxes are $127 for the 2021 tax year. They may change up or down next year. And then there is a solid 100 acres here, and it's nearly a perfect square. Again, thanks for taking the tour. If you want to see this property or would you like a property information packet emailed or mailed to you, give us a call at 800-286-6164. Thanks again for coming along on this cold December day. Merry Christmas to you, folks.